Hello everyone, in this video we're talking about AI, we're talking about ChatGPT, and we're also talking about Google Bard. Ooh, Google, oh my gosh. I don't know who the marketing team was on that, or maybe it was like just some name that they thought of, we're tossing around, but this code red caused them to panic, and so they just kind of like went with it. But maybe I'm just missing the vision of what they see with that name going forward, or maybe it's so impressive we forget about the name in the first place. I don't know, because we haven't been able to try it out. We've been able to try ChatGPT. We have not been able to try Bard. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. I'm Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Let's get right into it. So ChatGPT. I know that I'm not new to the game here. I know that I'm not the first mover on this, and that is perfectly fine. What I will say is that I heard about it a couple weeks ago, and I tried it out, and it was pretty cool, and it is a promising piece of, I'm gonna call it software, but the artificial intelligence, the work that they've done, the plain language, and the fact that the results that you get are so relevant to what you were requesting, and very impressive. I've noticed very few errors out of the things that I've requested it to do. But also, more so than that, people who aren't even really in tech at all, people who don't even really care about it usually, are trying this out. They're having it write songs, they're having it write poems, they're having it tell stories, they're using it for productivity purposes. Like, it is incredible how much it really does. So Microsoft, with their $10 billion investment towards OpenAI in that partnership to bring ChatGPT integrated with Bing, I think it's a great move for Microsoft. Maybe it's that thing that finally makes Bing a relevant search engine. I can't tell you how many times that I've been assisting somebody, or maybe it was one of my students at school who were searching for something and somehow they ended up in the Edge browser instead of Chrome, and they were searching on Bing instead of Google. And I was like, I don't know why you keep on getting these weird results. And then I happen to look and see, I'm like, oh, it's because you're using Bing. Use Google. So then they search. They get what they want. So Google, in terms of search, I still think is top dog. With the ChatGPT integration, maybe it's something that really helps kind of shore things up. Maybe even Microsoft surpass Google in that regard, and then also bring further functionality, revolutionary functionality that Google doesn't have yet. Although Bard might have, equal to comparable capabilities. Time will tell. We're going to have to watch that play out. The point of what I'm saying is that ChatGPT is already capturing people's attention. It has a first mover's advantage in that way. It's already gone widespread enough that people who don't even care about tech are trying to get access to it and use it. And, they're copying what it says and sending it out to other people, and they're laughing about it, and they're typing in, requests for processes, for code, you name it. And there's just such fire around ChatGPT, fire in a way of excitement that, it's exciting enough that I'm actually on here talking about it. And I think it does have at least small financial implications for Microsoft, at least at first. And if it does bring advertisers over to Bing, maybe that's where we start to see even further integration and further return coming Microsoft's way. Google, on the other hand, Google is struggling with this, that they had Bard in the works, just not quite ready for release yet. But then with ChatGPT and Microsoft announcement, that's something that Google is like, hey, we've been working on this. Check it out. It's pretty cool. And, well, it made an error. There's some satellite that was the first one to do something from space, and it got the wrong factual detail, and people are like, oh, this is no good. And Google is seeing weakness then in its stock price. Well, through Alphabet, I should say, through its parent company. And, we'll have to take a look and see how Microsoft is doing as a result of really sort of kind of taking the upper hand in terms of AI integrated with search. So let's look at ChatGPT here. We won't look at Bard because we don't have access to it yet, but we'll see a little bit of what ChatGPT can do for us. And then we'll take a look at the stock prices for Microsoft, for Google, and then we'll just chat a little bit more after that, then we'll wrap things up. So with that said, let's go over to ChatGPT. So the first thing I want to know from ChatGPT, which is the better search engine, Google or Bing? So the question that I typed in was, which is the better search engine, Google or Bing? And now it's generating the response, and it says, as an AI language model, I don't have personal opinions, but I can provide you with some information to help you make a comparison. And then it goes on to compare Google versus Bing, Google having over a 90% market share. If Google stands to lose some of that market share from Bing with this integration, and that's why Google is kind of backpedaling on this and trying to like hurry up and rush things out the door in order to make sure that they can not only preserve their market share, but hopefully even capitalize on market share further. They've been in the lead for a long time, and hopefully it wasn't comfort that Microsoft caught them sitting back on their heels with this, although, it may have happened. So, Google offers many services like Google Maps, Google Drive, Gmail, integrate well with its search engine. Bing, on the other hand, is Microsoft's search engine, has a smaller market share, and it's also, it says Bing is known for its visually appealing interface and provides search results and images and videos, making it easier to quickly find what they're looking for. Bing also powers Yahoo search, so its reach extends beyond our own platform. So they do have more of a reach, but still not as much as Google. And then it kind of stands in the middle there. So if we ask it, that was pretty cool to see that. So write a poem about ChatGPT being an amazing AI language model. Let's see if it has any hubris here. I guess it does. ChatGPT, a language model divine, with words so clever and answers so fine, a machine born to understand human speech and to give knowledge and guidance beyond human reach. It knows of history and current events, not too current events though. And you can answer any question that you present. Its vast corpus of information never fades, always up to date. Its knowledge never shades. ChatGPT, a marvel of AI, with language skills that never go awry. It's a source of information without a doubt, and answers always at hand, never a moment left to doubt. Is that spelling of doubt? Is that a typo? I don't know. Let's go on. So if you need a question answered, just give it a try in ChatGPT. The AI language model is always nearby. It's the digital companion that's always on the ball. Answers always at hand, no matter how small or tall. I think that part got taken from Dr. Seuss. In conclusion, ChatGPT is truly grand, a language model like no other in this land. So let us give thanks to the team that made it all, for this AI marvel stands tall. Listen, I knew it could do this kind of stuff, but it was the first time I actually had it write a poem, and having it write a poem about itself, is there any better advertisement? You could honestly make a commercial out of that, and I think it would go huge. I think it would go big. I'm not into marketing or anything, but I don't know if I could write a poem that well. And this thing didn't even really have to think about it. So I would love to try out Bard. So Google, if you would please make that openly available for people to try out. And you kind of missed out, Google, the fact that ChatGPT came out first like it did, and it has such incredible features and capability and flexibility to it that I only hope, if Bard can't do that, Google's in trouble. That's my take on it. I think that they're in serious trouble if it doesn't have at least the same or nearly the same capabilities of ChatGPT. If ChatGPT is shown to have straight up superiority to Google Bard by the time Google Bard comes out, if they fumble that's bad news for Google. So let's just take a quick look at Google now. Tech has had a rough time. We know that. It's been trading well below its 200 moving day average. It's been using the 50-day moving average as support. And when we zoom in on this part, you can see it did enjoy some of that rally that we saw through January. And then, however, we hit February the 8th. February the 7th is when that factual error was made by Google Bard when they put it out, and it's sold off since, and now it's just kind of sitting, chilling on the 50-day. So we're going to have to watch and see how that holds out over time. So Google, like, if it needs to step up its game, and it's up to Microsoft and OpenAI now to make sure that they capitalize on this opportunity. So I don't know if you're team Google, I don't know if you're team Microsoft, I don't know if you're team money, where you don't really care, you just want to make money out of it. Well, honestly, I don't know that it's all that clear right now who it's going to be. So Google's already missing out on advertiser revenue. That's hurting their bottom line, and now possibly Microsoft is going to take market share from them with ChatGPT. Let's go over to Microsoft. There we go. And it's almost the opposite looking chart. Now, we did have a sell-off in the markets. However, Microsoft, relative to its own movement, it's actually up above its 200-day moving average, whereas Google is sitting down on the 50-day. Microsoft hasn't broken back down through that yet. So this isn't an episode of this show meant to compare the two of them directly, just more their current price performance in light of the news that's come out in the past week concerning ChatGPT versus Google Bard. So let me just give some closing thoughts. Google, I love you. We've been together for years, and I hope that we continue a long and friendly relationship. Microsoft, your Office suite has treated me very well. I've built several of your PCs. I was a user for years. I switched to Mac for some productivity and some integrated capabilities. I wouldn't mind coming back sometime. As a matter of fact, I use you on my work devices, Microsoft. So thank you for that. I've never liked your search engine. I've always thought that Bing was garbage. And I don't know if any of you out there use it, but compared to Google, and this is relatively speaking, Bing, still incredible by its own standard. Still incredible from a technological standpoint. Compared to Google search, I never thought that Bing was even worth it or relevant, and I never liked Yahoo search very much either. However, ChatGPT, I would say is, and I know it's cliche, but when I say game changer, it's not just, this is a game changer, where it's going to cause something to move 1 or 2%. This is a game changer because it totally shifts the power balance between Microsoft and Google where internet search is concerned. It is up to Google, sooner than later, to get Bard out there for people to give it a try. And the way that Google wins this is to show that Bard is superior to ChatGPT, but it does not have the first mover advantage. So it has an uphill battle against Microsoft and OpenAI in that regard. However, it is still the leader in search. Habits are hard to break. 90% of the searches are with Google. So people might be having fun with OpenAI, with ChatGPT. It doesn't necessarily mean that they've migrated to Microsoft, to Bing. That migration is going to take some effort, and that integration has to be good enough. It has to be better enough to actually pull the user out of their habits from using Google for all that search to use Microsoft Bing search instead. So does it have that sort of energy? ChatGPT itself definitely has energy as far as internet search goes for meeting our needs in that regard. Does Microsoft overtake Google with search? And if so, does that continue to chew into Google's market share and ad revenue? And does it start balancing instead over to Microsoft? Those questions, I think, will be answered as time comes out. And I look forward to Google releasing Bard. And please, Google, consider a name change or at least explain why you chose Bard. At least ChatGPT sounds kind of techy and nobody really cares what it stands for. However, Bard, be nice to have some explanation behind it, don't you think? So thank you guys for watching this. I really appreciate it if you watched all the way through, listening to my commentary. I know it's a little bit different on this one than on my other ones, but it's an episode that I wanted to make for the past couple of days, and I thought that now was a good time to do so. And so we'll watch for that. We have the CPI coming out on Tuesday. We'll keep our fingers crossed for all the long positions out there that this rally gets to continue, because we get excellent beat on inflation numbers, that they come in lower than expected. I think that they're going to come in hotter than expected, at least for this month. We'll see what happens. We really will. So, it's anybody's guess. It's anybody's game. And I look forward to watching this play out. If you guys want to see more of what I have to offer, my link to the Patreon is down in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the support. Hit the like button if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you would, please, if you'd like to see more of my videos. I'm Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. We'll see you in the next video.